What up guys, it's your boy Infamous, but you can call me M3 Bullet. I'm gonna review Avatar. This is a sci-fi movie back in 2009. It was written and directed by James Cameron, the guy who made the Terminator and Titanic. This movie is dope. Not only that, I'm gonna review Avatar, The Way of Water, the new one. I know, I'm a little late here with my review on Avatar 2, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. Our leading man is a guy named Jake Sully, a disabled veteran. He was narrating that in the future, medical technology is so advanced that it could fix his spine, but it was really expensive, and he didn't have any veteran benefits. He was in a bar, he was watching in the game, and he was looking around him. He noticed that a woman was being beaten up at the bar. Even though he was disabled, he did try to fight the guy who was hitting the woman. He did put up a good fight, but got thrown out of the bar. A couple guys in suits approached him and told Jake that his twin brother recently passed away. His brother was a scientist working for some company, and it was about something with him going into space. They told him that he could take over his brother's contract. He signed it. Jake woke up 5 years later in cryo sleep to a planet called Pandora, and he made it to the base. The guys are mercenaries. That used to be Marines back on Earth. We were introduced to this general commanding officer guy, Courage. He's the head of the security. He's pretty much telling the newbie what's going on, and that there's this species of humanoid called the Na'vi. We get to meet a guy named Norm. He was one of the scientists that worked with his brother. They both entered the lab, and they're gonna pilot these things called avatars, a hybrid of the Na'vi and human DNA. Basically, they have to upload their consciousness into the avatar to blend in with the Na'vi. We were introduced to Grace and Max. Grace was the head of the Avatar program. Grace was a jerk to Jake. She was frustrated because they sent in him instead of his brother. And she headed over to the control center to talk to Parker. He's pretty much the definition of corporate greed and the boss of everybody. Grace was telling him that they needed a scientist, not a Marine. But he didn't care. Parker reminds her that the only reason why they're here is because Earth is dying, and obsidian is a very valuable element that is worth millions of dollars, and it pays for the whole thing. And their village have a large number of it. Relations with the Na'vi is pretty much bad right now, and they now need to find a diplomatic solution to this problem. We are introduced to Trudy. She's gonna pilot to fly Grace, Jake, and Norm around the mission tomorrow. Courage and Jake had a little talk about their military exploits, and he told Jake that he needs to be his eyes and ears and on the Na'vi, and he'll help him get his legs back. Jake and Norm are on their way to pilot their avatars. Norm has a little bit of experience, but for Jake, this is his first time. Jake woke up in his avatar body and started to move his legs. Jake enjoys every minute of it. Then he ran to Grace in her avatar form. They went to sleep to get ready for the mission tomorrow. Jake was supposed to protect Grace and Norm while they're outside. They went to the storage building, which used to be a school where Grace taught at. Norm asked what happened to the place, and Grace told him that the Omaticaya, the tribe that the company has a hard time getting along with, started to know more about them. She's hiding something. Jake noticed that there are bullet holes in the wall. Grace and Norm are taking samples of the trees. Jake was walking around and he was amazed by the plant. This bull-like creature was getting ready to charge at him. Jake aims his gun at it. Grace told him to chill out, and it will chill out, but it didn't. Jake decided to charge at it, and it stopped because there was a wolf-like creature behind him. And Grace told him to run. Jake managed to lose that thing, but he ends up by himself, lost in the forest. He made a spirit since he lost his gun. Then we met Tiri, the chief's daughter. She was watching him from a distance and was about to kill him, but she stopped. It was getting dark, and Grace and the others were looking for him, but they had to go back. Jake was on his own, and they'll have to wait until morning to get him. Jake got a fire going, and those dog-like creatures began to attack him, and he got saved by Natiri, and he was trying to follow her because he kind of needed her help. She was reluctant to help. Jake asked why she saved him. She complimented him, and insulted him. Then these tree spirits started surrounding him, and she told him to come and follow her. He was trying to get her name, but they got ambushed by the other Navi and her fiance. The fiance was telling her that he should bring him around. They went to the Altamakaya, big tree, that they live in a big, like a giant tree that they live in. Jake met Natiri's parents. Her mama was a shaman of the tribe. The pops was thinking about killing him, but instead he decided to teach him their ways and their customs, and no one else. That's pretty much it. Jake went to sleep and woke up in his human body, and he told everyone what happened. Parker and Courage told Jake that he only got 3 months to convince the Navi people to move, or they're going to tear everything down. Okay, time to speed things up. For the past 3 months, Jake has been trying to learn things about the Navi. He wasn't doing that great in the beginning, but he's starting to get the hang of things. Jake gets to ride some dope flying creature. The Navi let Grace back in again, and Natiri and Jake are starting to have a connection, and they end up smashing. The next morning, bulldozers are destroying the trees. Jake was in his human body getting breakfast, and Natiri was trying to wake him up, and he went back and he woke up in his avatar body, and he tried to stop it, but that didn't work, and they got it out of there. They made it back to the village, and the tribe was pissed off. Jake and Grace tried to tell them to not attack, but before Jake, Grace, and Norm, before they could fix anything, they got brought in by Courage. Jake told them to give him a chance to talk them out of war. He only got 1 hour, but that failed. Grace and Jake were held captive, and they were attacking the village. Natiri's mom let them go, and Natiri's dad died. And Grace, Norm, and Jake got arrested. Trudy and Max bust them out. And there was a guy. Max needed to be their guy on the inside. Grace was injured. Jake's only hope is to go to the Almatakaya for help. He took control of a giant red creature thing, and he found them, and they tried to transfer Grace's consciousness to her avatar, but it was too late, and she died. Jake gives some really epic speech. The final battle happens. Jake and Courage had their one-on-one fight. Natiri kills Courage, and at the end of the movie, Jake pretty much transfer his body, his conscious, to his avatar permanently, and the movie was over. The Motakaya, he's married to Natiri, and they have 4 kids. Natam's the oldest. Curie is her adopted daughter, born out of Grace's avatar, Carl Murray. Loic is the 3rd kid, the troublemaking Daredevil, and Toop, the baby girl. They were pretty much a perfect happy family. The kids had a human friend that was born on Pandora. They nicknamed him Spider, and turns out he's Corage's son. He couldn't go back to Earth because it wasn't safe for him, so he was raised by the scientists. Norm and Max are still alive from the last movie. They noticed that there was something weird going on with the sky, and they realized that the RDA, the company from the first movie, they're back. And a year later, Courage had a clone avatar sent to hunt down Jake, and this clone got his memory. Jake and the Navi attack a supply train. They only got 2 minutes. Yelta Makaya got guns now. Now this should be interesting. Loic and the Tam were supposed to be on scout duty, but Loic wanted on the action. The Tam told him don't do it, and Jake saw them, but he was about to call them in, and the gunship was there. The Tam got hurt a little bit, nothing to worry about. They were hiding in the Hollywood Mountains, and Jake was fussing at them. Fury, Loic, and Spider went to a lab. Grace's avatar is perfectly preserved in a tube. Fury was watching a document and everything. Loic and Spider were joking about who is her dad though, and things got personal real fast. George is on the base, and the general told him that they're trying to colonize the planet because the Earth is dying. But before they can colonize it, they need to quote pacify the hostiles. They got an idea of where they might be. They found them somewhere in the Hollywood Mountains, but every time they sent in a team there, they lose. Every single time. Fury, Spider, Loic, and Tube went around the woods and play around. Courage and his team are in the forest too. And while that was going on, the tree spirit thing surrounding Fury. Loic and Spider noticed that there's a footprint, and they begin to track it. Courage and his crew found the place that Jake and the original Courage fought. The kids seen them. Loic calls Jake, and he was with Natiri and the Tam. Jake told them to get out of there, but they got captured. Courage knows was how his human version died, and he realized that that the kids are Jason's kids, and Spider is his kid too. He called in the general and told him like what's happening. He planned to use the kids as bait. It got dark, and there was this epic fight scene. Jake and the Tyrion and Tam got them back. Spider ended up getting captured, and Courage and his crew took him. Jake and the Tyrion had an argument. Jake was telling her that they need to leave because Spider already knows where everyone is. Tyrion was against it because she didn't want to leave, but after like a little talking, she was like, "Okay, fine, we'll leave." He already tortured Spider, and he was a G. Like he ain't snitching nothing. He ain't giving them up for nothing. If they want information, they gotta kill him for it. So Cord stopped him for a minute. He had a little father-son talk, kind of. Things were like going a little sour. He gave Spider two options: either come with him, or he hand him back to the lab coat, i.e., the scientists that are torturing him. The Souls are hiding with the Mechainas, the Sea Clan. They're a group of Na'vi that have aquatic adaptations. Tonawari is the clan leader, and we meet his pregnant wife, Roll. And Roll point out that their kids are not really real Na'vi and that they have demon blood. Tonawari says it's cool for them to stay and pretty much treat them like family, I guess. Jake kind of like pulls it, like have like a little family meeting, told the kids that they need to be on their best behavior. Courage went back to the forest with his crew and told them they need to speak Na'vi. Spider told them that they sound like little kids, and he kind of ended up being their personal translator. Okay, time to speed things up. The Sullies are trying to adjust to like the ways of the Mechaina, and there was this girl that Loak liked. Guys were picking on Curie. Loak and Tam got a fight with the local boys and ended up in trouble a couple of times. Well, not really. Well, technically not both of them. More like Loak was the one getting in trouble, mostly. Kids end up friends with the local kids, and Loak made a friend with like a whale-like creature thing that has a missing fin. Courage and his goon learned like how to like fight those creatures. Courage found out where the Sullies are hiding. They killed some whale creatures to like draw them out. And Curie made contact with the spirit tree, and she was talking to Grace, and she had a little seizure. Okay, Courage has Loak, the girl he likes, and Tube captured, so that way he can like leverage them as like some sort of bait for like Jake to like turn himself in. Another fight scene happens. The Tam dies. The Tiri went on a freaking killing spree. Do not mess with the mama. Never mess with the mama. Curie uses her powers to save the day. Spider saves Courage, and he was like, screw him, and he went back with the Sullies, and the movie was pretty much over. Hey Josephine, how you been?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good to see you again.
Good to hear you too, buddy.
Alright. Okay, we did win saw like the second Avatar movie together though. What'd you think about the second movie?
I think the second movie was pretty good. It captured a nice moment between family and the hardships that they go through, and I think that everybody can apply their life to the movie.
Yeah, I can see like a little bit of the the racial elements to the whole thing. I could see like obviously the racial tensions and stuff. I gotta admit, the Mechaina, the lighter skinned blue people with the fish adaptations, that was pretty cool. That was a very good idea though.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Okay. There was a lot of mysteries here. Who was Spider's mama here? Because if Courage is the dad, and who the mama? Because it doesn't make any sense though.
I have no clue who the mama is. If anybody knows who the mama is or has a hint or an idea, leave it at the comments, please.
Please and thank you. Wait a minute, I've heard rumors. I heard something about like it's mentioned in comics. I'll probably check. I'll do my little investigation later. Okay, now that we kind of asked that question, who the daddy is. Who is Curie's daddy here? Seriously. Okay, they might as well be playing. They might as well have Mari on the. They might as well have Mari in the movie. Wait, do you remember who Mari is? You know, you are not the father. Jake Sully, you are not the father. Norm, you are not the father. In order, how could Grace be born out of Grace's avatar? Because she did.
Oh yeah.
That
Interesting.
That was pretty good. I guess they're sending her. I guess they're just sending her out to like be some sort of Jesus. And I heard that next year they're coming up with another Avatar movie.
Oh wow, that's quick.
Yep. But again, I didn't. Okay, honestly, I didn't even want to go see the second movie in the first place because I didn't think it was gonna live up to the hype. I mean, it's been like, what was it, 12 years, 13 years since the first movie came out? I remember.
And now sorry.
It's been like, what was it, 14 some years since like the first movie came out. I thought it wasn't gonna live up to the hype, but no. You dragged me, well, not you. My sister dragged me into it, and I ended up dragging you into this too. But technically, you wanted to see the movie, so I didn't drag you into nothing.
Okay.
But okay.
Hold on. Carry on.
Alright. But I gotta admit though, it did live up to the hype though. It really did. And I'm glad I actually went and saw the movie with y'all in the first place. I'm glad that we did that.
I'm glad we did too.
Okay. Never mess with the mama. Neytiri went on a freaking warpath. Like, damn. Damn. They must. Damn. Just, God. Never mess with the mama and her kids. Ever. Unless you want to end up 6 feet under. That's all I gotta say with that. With the rampage stuff.
I completely agree with you.
Yeesh. Okay. Okay. Again, with the fight scene. Okay. The final fight scenes in the shootouts. Magnificent. It was magnificent. I'm telling you though. That was pretty wicked though. James Cameron, you did a good job, bro. Oh, sir.
An amazing job he did. Didn't he, guys?
Yeah, he did. By the way, in case you don't remember, do you remember Titanic by any chance? I know everybody heard about that movie.
I actually didn't watch the Titanic. I thought it was overhyped.
Wait, what about the Terminator?
Yes.
Okay. He's the guy responsible for the Terminator movies. I gotta admit, that was pretty good though. The first movie, it was pretty good though. And I heard rumors that there were like a lot of deleted scenes released years ago. And it turns out that the helicopter pilot chick and Norm kind of had a relationship going. But that was like deleted. There were like a lot of good moments in like the first movie that could have been pretty useful though, in my opinion.
Useful for?
I don't know. I thought okay. You probably don't remember the first movie, but what was it? The pilot chick and the scientist guy Norm, they were pretty much hooking up. They were dating a little bit, and knowing that there was like a deleted line, like I got rid of scene where the pilot chick kind of confessed her love to Norm before she died. I mean, at least it would provide a little more meaning to her death, though. But hey, man, hey, it's Hollywood. You gotta do what you gotta do. If you gotta kill off an important character, do it. For the sake of the story, and to make it good, I guess so. I mean, what do you expect? This is like an action war movie. In the action war movies, somebody important gotta die.
That is completely true. I also agree, Terminator was actually a pretty good movie, but don't they always cut out scenes from, like, individual movies here and there?
True. There's always gonna be some deleted scenes that did like made it to the final movie, but it always happens. Shoot, like for all we know, they could like had something way different in the last minute.
Oh, what's the next question?
Well, I didn't ask any other question, but overall, the movies are good though. Okay, Natanium's death scene that hit me really hard though. Like damn. But hey, you gotta kill off an important character in order to like make like this is like a high stake action movie, and in a high stake action movie, somebody gotta die, as I just talked about earlier.
You know what I can't believe? I can't believe now. I don't remember or recall the names, but you know the human
Spider,
and who was the guy that he saved?
Corge.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
What was it? Corge in the Avatar body, because if you don't remember the last movie, he was the guy who's pretty much like kill all the blue people. We're gonna take over their stuff, and that's pretty much it. He's pretty much was the bad guy in the last movie, but this time, and he's still alive. Like what the hell? And know that he disowned him for a minute, and now he owned him again. Now that is trifling as frick, man. That was trifling as frick.
I know. I was like, how is he still alive? I guess they kept him alive so they can keep the series going. You know?
Yeah, I mean, after all, like he said, it ain't. I mean, after all, like their last fight scene together with Courage and Jake fighting each other. I mean, he said it himself. He's gonna come back and kill all his family. So I guess that's like another driving part of the I guess it's like another driving part for the next movie.
So what were the little? I don't know if they were whales. What were they?
I forgot. I could never pronounce their names right. Honestly, I forgot though. But
well,
I don't really care.
Well, those mammals were actually they were pretty sweet. You know, yeah. I like the way that they are organized and collective in a group, and how they have morals that they don't break. You know.
Yeah, like the no killing people rule. Okay. It's bound to happen with every single species, really. We're all, well, not all, well, okay. We're all bound by nature, regardless of despite every societal, technological, social advancement, we are still connected, we are still a slave, I guess, to our natural biological urge. But, turns out that whole thing was false, and what was it, the whale thing that was helping Noah, you know, the third kid, the brother?
Right.
Yeah. Turns out that he really wasn't a killer. It turns out, like, the death of the other whales, that was somewhat, he was responsible for their deaths, though.
Yeah, it wasn't actually his fault, it was the humans' fault.
Yeah.
They were killing their species to hunt them for their skin. I mean, not for their skins, for their, brain.
You know, that brain fluid thing that can stop human aging? Okay. I guess that's pretty much, I guess the reason why they did that is just to, like, put that, like, in there, like, to, like, give them another reason why they came back again. And it turns out to be, like, more rare and worth more than unobtainium. The thing that they came from the first movie. Okay, I know that the next movie is gonna be good, and I'm definitely doing a review on that. You down?
I'm down.
It's good to have you back, Just the Queen. It's good to have you back, Your Majesty.
It's good to be back, Infamous.
Alright. Fun's over.
And cut.
Alright, Just the Queen. Oh, wait a minute. Do you want a new avatar? I'm thinking about, like, giving you, like, a new avatar. What do you think?
I think a new avatar would be great for 2023.
Yeah, you need it. And I really need to get me a new form. I mean, I've been in my demon form for a good minute. I'm thinking about going back to my old school form. But, nah. Wait, maybe I should. I don't know. But...
I think it...
Okay, my bad. Sorry. Alright, Just the Queen. Talk to you again. I gotta rate the movie. Well, both of the movies.
Sounds good to me. See you later, Infamous.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, time to rate the first movie. Let's see. Factor in the action scenes, the fight scenes, and like the commentary, and let's see, the animations and the CGI and the effects. Okay, the effects was magnificent. I would say the first Avatar was James Cameron's comeback, I guess. Alright, let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate the first Avatar movie as a solid 10, because you got, like, once it comes to like sequels and like franchises and stuff like that, the first movie could never beat the second movie. Like, it's always been a thing. Okay, let's see. Let's go with the second movie, Way of Water. Honestly, I was scared of Neytiri. I'm gonna be honest. After like everything that happened in the second movie, I was scared. Alright, let's see. Factor in the fight scene, the action, the drama, and how they how they had that whole storyline with Curie and Spider. Let's see. I would say I would give it at least a solid 8, honestly, because I mean it cannot live up to like the first movie. I mean it did live up to the hype. I mean I do want to give it like a solid 10 too, but hey, I gotta be a harsh critic here, and I need to be like a judge. So I know that I don't play with my movies. Anyone that know me in real life, they know I don't play with my movies. Ever. Alright. Fun's over. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my deviant art. In case you guys don't remember, pretty much a digital online art gallery where I put like all my digital artwork. The link is in the description. M3 Bullet, out.